I always wanted to have kids by the time I was 30. We thought it would be easier when we started, and it's been, I'm 41 now, and through a series of events, it was one roadblock after another. Can't get naturally pregnant. We go to this doctor, and he's like, well, you won't be able to have kids. Wait, like, we're not able to have kids? The seed of doubt or hopelessness or depression starts to build, and it started to weave its way into our lives. A year later, she's like, well, maybe we should go to this fertility center and check it out. And so we found out our odds were not high, but it wasn't that we couldn't have children. And there's a little bit of hope there. IVF it's a very time-consuming thing. We were chained to the house. Like, I'm giving my wife shots every night for, I think we counted over the entire period, 300. This process of doing this night after night after night after night. And then you finally go, and anybody that's dealt with infertility, anybody that's gone through in vitro, that you go and they'll take the embryo, implant that embryo, and then you're hoping it takes and you're pregnant. And you've got this window of time that you're waiting, and then you go in and do a blood test. My wife is sitting there waiting to feel pregnant, to have a symptom, to have those things. And we're like, this is our chance. This is our chance. And we find out we're not pregnant. Now, at this point, we're 9 years into this process. Hopelessness is racking up, and the weight is getting heavier and heavier. The sadness is getting heavier and heavier. And then at some point in all of that, you stop and you lose hope completely. Positive, optimistic Ben has now become jaded, cynical, and here my heart transforms into this thing that is like, I'm safe here in this bubble where if you don't hope for anything, you won't have to be hurt. And that's a tough place to be. My wife said, I'm ready to go. And so we went to go do it again. And again, we're showing up, and we're thinking, we're expecting the worst. And then there we are in the waiting period, the 7-10 day waiting period. And my wife and I are just like, at this point, we're just done. We're down to our last bit. And so I remember my wife's at work, and she gets a phone call, gets another call, and she's like, hey, they called again. I said, well, one way or another, like, whatever the answer is going to be, we've gone through so much, I want to hear it together. So she comes home, I'm sitting there in my sunroom on my hammock going, here we go again. Like, we got so we listened to it, and actually, I'm going to play it for you. So.
Hi, Carrie. It's Dr. Whitworth. I have really good news for you. Your test is positive at 689, which is a really strong positive.
After 12 years of infertility and everything that's going on, I started crying. I started crying immediately. My wife's just so excited about it. And so here we are, we're 16, 17 weeks pregnant now, and we're on the flip side of that. And so for me, from where I'm at right now, I can't say I'm not still struggling with depression or, other things that I deal with, but you can pick the light spots out. But it leaves the question about what does that mean for the person that doesn't get pregnant, right? You hear along your infertility journey or your life journey, you hear people say, oh, God gave me this miracle. God gave me, you hear these stories. But for every one of those, you've got somebody that doesn't. And what do you say? What do you say to that? You want to be able to answer this question of like, why, and honestly, I don't know that anybody has a good answer. And I think you've just got to keep hoping and praying. I'm just a guy searching and going through life and trying to lean into the light more than I am the dark.